Next one, deadlifts. This is a fun one. It's a big one. And I think it's an important lift to know. It's a very useful lift. And it's really great for overall body strength. So what we're going to do is, as we are performing this movement, there are a few pieces. So part one is when you have your weights, you want your hands to be as close to your legs as possible, kind of like you're shaving your legs. With that, feet are going to be hip width, just maybe beyond, again, depending on comfort level and where feels good for you, but typically that hip width is about starting point for pretty much, it's always a safe bet that's your starting point, feet hip width. With this, we are going to pull our hips back. So this is a hinge movement. So think of a door hinge. One thing stays straight, so my elbow isn't moving, but my forearm is moving here. It's kind of similar in a deadlift. A deadlift is a hinge movement. So our hips are moving, but our upper body stays straight and steady throughout that entire movement. So first step, I'll go ahead and grab my weights to show you. So you can, with dumbbells, there's a little bit more freedom of where you can place the weights. Let's say if you had a barbell, your weights would be typically here, but it can be nice because your dumbbells can fall a little bit more naturally, kind of at a diagonal on your legs. So again, slightly hip width apart. I'm going to step back away from the crack. Slightly hip width apart, roll your shoulders back and down. I want you to pull your shoulders back, and if you can, try to engage your lat muscles as you're pulling those shoulders back and down. How you can help yourself with that is, I want you to imagine that somebody has placed an orange under your armpit, and you have to keep that orange under your armpit for the entire movement. So you want to keep your arms by your side at an appropriate distance in order to keep that orange there. If you're struggling with this and you happen to have a tennis ball or an orange, practice with that. That's okay. So we're going to pretend like I have an orange. I'm going to start from the side, actually, because I think that's the most important way to view the exercise. So we're hinging, remember? So our hips are doing the movement. Our upper body is pretty much staying in the same position. So as my hips are being pulled backwards and doing the movement, my upper body is lowering mid shins, and I'm going to come back up. And I'm going to notice how I have a slight bend in my knee. My hips are pulling back. You'll even notice that sometimes I have my toes pointed upward, and it's to help me make sure that I am pushing my weight back. Typically, it's good to have your feet on the floor though. So I tuck my chin. So just tuck that chin in, roll shoulders back and down like you have an orange underneath, and we're going to slide those hips back, mid-shin. This isn't about how far down you can go. It's about allowing yourself to pull those hips back. Okay, so with our deadlift, shoulders back and down, engage those lats, pretend you're holding that orange in the armpits, and we're going to pull our hips back. And wherever's most comfortable for you, this is about where my hamstring stretch allows me to go. And it's not about how deep you can go either. And we're going to pull up. As we're pulling up, I want you to envision you engaging those glutes and those hamstrings to force that upper body to pull up again and to hinge back to the starting position. One thing that can be helpful to remember through this movement is almost pretending like somebody's wrapped a belt around your waist and they have a string attached right here at your tailbone, and your feet are glued to the floor. They're not going anywhere. And somebody's just going to pull that string back. And as that string pulls back, your hips are going to fold, which means your upper body is almost going to fold. Like if my hamstrings won't let me, but almost as if you're going to fold over into yourself. Your butt goes back, just shoots back, and then You'll come back up. Somebody's let go of the string. Pulling the string, pulling your hips back, feet are glued to the floor, and pulling those hamstrings back. There is a slight bend in my knee. Please note that. It's not about locking out and being straight here. Slight bend. And you want to keep that bend pretty much throughout the entire movement. And that is how you perform a deadlift. Sometimes people can find it helpful to look up as throughout the movement in one spot. Notice how my hands stay close, like I'm shaving my legs. Notice how my back stays relatively flat. You don't need it to be as stiff as a board. However, what's important here, and part of why you want to keep the weight close to your legs, is because your weight's further out here. It's going to put more strain on your back, potentially leading to injury, and we'd all like to avoid injury. So back straight, keep those weights close to your legs, pull those hips back, or act as if somebody's pulling those hips back for you with a string attached to your tailbone. And all you can do is fold over. And there's your deadlift.